Toastmasters.
Good evening.
Good evening.
This evening I will be my employees at my fine company. Whatever name I choose, Brian sounds good. So you work for Brian. Awesome, excellent. This evening we're going to be talking about salary cuts. As you know, I've been meeting with the Phoenix group over the last week or so about our funding for the next 18 months. And they were the ones that funded us and our company for the first 18 months, and we've made tremendous progress to everything that we've worked towards. We've done a real great job at that. Now, we did fall short of our revenue projections by 15%, but I believe that we are on track. We're on track because of everything that everybody does here. We've identified what our problems are, and where we need to work on them, and what needs to happen next. Now, when asking for this money, as the next funding round is coming around for the next 18 months or so, it's really got a sticky point due to that 15%. So we have been working on trying to come up with a solution for this. And as y'all also know through many of the meetings that we've had, is that we need to do an entire redesign of our website because of the functionality. And the functionality is actually losing customers because when they come on there, they're getting confused and it's not operating properly, which is something that y'all picked up on. So we need to do a web design, recreate the functionality, which is going to cost approximately $10,000. It's going to have some additional features to it as well. And then we need to ramp up our marketing to bring more people in. But before we do that, we have to have the functionality working properly. So the marketing is going to be the second tier in this, and that's going to be about $50,000. We're going to take it from what we do now on a small scale, because now we know that we are bringing in money, if you will, on our the products that we're selling. And now we really want to pour it on thick, if you will, by going on to a bunch of different platforms. We need to be on YouTube. We're going to create a YouTube channel and bring all of that we can from the YouTube channel, creating a weekly video that's going to go out to our customers. So it's just a different way to connect with them. We're going to create a newsletter as well for the people that like to read. So we got our people that are on video that love to just watch video, and they can watch us and stay connected to our product. We're going to do the newsletter for the people that like to just receive the newsletter. And then we're also going to capture their email. We're going to invest in a CRM, or customer relation management software, which is going to capture all that data so that we can market toward those people later on through the email campaign. We're going to get on Google+. We're also going to create a podcast, and that's going to draw more people as well. And that's just simple audio for the most part, but there is a couple of expensive items that are included in that $50,000. But this is just another platform for anybody who's on audio. So this way we're really targeting the visual user through YouTube, the newsletter through everybody who wants to read it, but then the people who are driving, we can connect to those people so they can just listen to us on a podcast. They can't watch us, they can't read us, they can listen to us. And these are just platforms that we're going to extend to. And then further doing that, we're going to kind of do some grassroots marketing, which this is really more of a PR approach. We're going to work with YouTube channels and also podcasters that have a huge audience. And what we want to do is we want to get on there and do interviews. So we want to be out there as much as possible with people who have 100,000 or 200,000 listeners. And we want to do an interview for an hour with these people so that we can get into those little niche markets that we couldn't do otherwise. We could blast out a bunch of money for TV, but I believe that it's a heavy expense without not a lot of return, which we've all talked about. So these are some of the things that we're going to be doing, obviously, to move the company forward. The one change with the functionality issue should bring about, with just the people we're bringing in, should bring about 10% more of a closing ratio. So we're closing that gap on that 15% mark that we didn't hit, and now we've only got to close about 5% more of that gap. Now where the big problem comes And you can see it as a big problem because it all includes each one of y'all, our fine employees that work at this company, salary cuts. I know you want to burn me at the stake, but I'm not a witch, so please don't. But salary cuts by 25% that'll go across the board for everybody so that we can make this happen. The Phoenix Group is only offered to give us $750,000 that needs to take us out for the next 18 months. With our $10,000 for a new website, $50,000 toward marketing, this drops each of our $50,000 salaries down to $37,500 a piece. So it's a $12,500 hit to everybody in this room. I'm glad nobody's yelling, crying, or screaming yet. Because there's more bad news.
You're moving the mix.
I know. We're going to have to downsize into a one-room shack. With no AC. Toilets around the corner at McDonald's. All right, that's the good part of this. That's just a funny joke. A little bit of humor in there. But it will be a 25% cut for us all to make it happen. And this is something that I'm really asking for everybody to consider. I'm not asking you to make this decision right now. I'm asking you to go home, talk to your families, think about it, and let it resonate with you. The drop in the reduction of $12,500 per year, or excuse me, for the extension to 18 months, you all know what's going to happen once we get everything online, because y'all are each working in particular areas of the company. You know that we are ready and poised. Once we get this functionality issue and the marketing to take off, we are going to be where we need to be, and then on the next round of funding, that'll all increase because we expect our projections to hit much higher at that point. So we're projecting to hit an estimated revenue, and we anticipate to go above that once we've got these two mechanisms in place. So at that point, when we ask for the third round of funding, our salaries will increase, and that's when we'll start talking about stock options and different things of that nature. But it's critical that everybody here does a certain thing. We have Manuel, our software engineer. He knows the mainframe on the backside. I don't even know if you're software, but I know you're an engineer. So I decided to play on that. Anyways, software engineer on the backside. He knows everything about the company. You know exactly what needs to happen. Al, you've been doing our marketing. You know everything that needs to happen and take place. You've already written up all the details. You know exactly where we need to be and what we need to do. And this is why you can feel the hit of maybe 12.5, but know that it's going to pay off in the long run. There's so many things that everybody's doing. Anna on our PR. You do great on our PR campaigns. Tracy on our payroll. David, you're a medical doctor. Do we sell medical equipment? You're a product creation guy. Everybody knows and everybody has a particular role here. I don't want to lose any employees. What I want to do is just reduce it over a period of time so that we can move forward and then eventually have the growth that we all believe this company can take and go toward. Now I know that's a lot and it's a heavy blow, 25%. Knocking you down a little bit there. So we can open it up for any questions that you have at this time regarding my proposal to reduce it by 25% so we can get the funding from the Phoenix Group. We'll kind of change it at the time. Yes, Tracy?
For our newsletters, we currently print them in color. If we change to black and white, or also cut how many times we print them, will that help us?
It could, but I don't think it's going to bring it down enough. That might be a small portion of it that we can do, and that's something we could look at. That's another number we can take into account. Absolutely. So we'll look at that and see where we can do that, and it may increase everybody just a little bit. We'll kind of spread it around and keep it even.
Bob,
yes.
Considering I'm the maintenance guy here at the office, what I can do, I can replace all thermostats and put in programmable. That way it won't be as cold and we can save electricity. That way we can keep our 25%.
Well, we can look at the exact cost that we'll check that out. So we'll look at the exact cost of what it will be, and we'll measure that up against our 25%, and then we can spread that out as well. So we may see, we're looking at ways we're going to go from 25 to 20% here in just a minute. Who's next? Let's bring it down to 0. Yes, Anna?
I assume that you're asking us to take these cuts so that the company can grow and that will actually give back this amount we're giving up and more. Otherwise, it's not worth it to any of us. But you haven't talked about what you project, what kind of growth you project, and what kind of salary growth you could or
Hoping to achieve.
expect, or what's projected, like why are we doing this? Is it just sort of a shot in the dark? Or?
Well, it shouldn't be. Just because of all the meetings that we've had and all the things that we've discussed, we should all have an idea of what we believe the company, and the product sales that we can increase. When we drop down to 37.5, we back up to 50 or above that the next year, and then our target is 75 after that, the following year, within the 4th year, or that might be the 5th year. And then from there, though, we also stock options. So this means that you're going to own a portion of the company. So I don't want anybody to leave here. And that's the reason why everybody's going to have stock options and ownership within the company. And that's kind of that's the big payoff, ultimately. That's the big payoff. Now, how far can it go? I mean, we can estimate projections, but I can only take an Excel sheet so far. But it's really so that, because of everything that we've done and everything that you know about the company and the success that we've already had, that we will be able to reach those hiring workers. That's the goal. Any other questions? Please consider my offer. I don't want anybody to leave. I know salary cuts is not something anybody wants to talk about. I do really want you to go home, talk to your families, and think about it. And think about the future growth of the company and where you see yourself in it. And if you believe in the product and you believe in what we're doing, then I hope to see you here tomorrow and not in tears. Thank you so much.